Good morning. This is Deborah and Nana. I'm so happy to be here with you. And this morning I want to talk about birds. So whenever you feel down, I suggest that you go to the school of birds. They are such beautiful examples of unconditional happiness, joy, and accepting what is. These tiny little creatures that are mostly just fluff have no idea where their next meal is coming from. They don't know where they're going to spend the night. When big weather comes, they have to go find a place to protect themselves. And yet, if you really observe them closely, they are so uplifting. They're just completely in the moment, having a great time all the time. They've always been, I've always been in love with the birds. They're one of my totems. So a totem comes from the Native American tradition. And a totem is any animal, an animal totem is any animal that you are attracted to energetically. And what that symbolizes is that though the characteristics of that animal and the energy of that animal is something that you want to manifest and bring into your life. So when you accept an animal as a totem and you begin to observe them and study their characteristics and their habits and everything, it will bring wisdom and learnings to you about your own characteristics and habits and energies. So birds have always been a totem of mine. And from the beginning of time, if you look at the myths and even in the Bible, the bird has always been the spiritual messenger. So because they're a winged animal, they symbolize connecting heaven and earth. And also, that sometimes they symbolize the soul. So many times you'll see them on tarot cards and everything as bringing in that connection to a deeper awareness, to a deeper mental perception. They also, since they're associated with the element of air, in alchemy, air represents the mind. So they symbolize being able to obtain higher consciousness, higher perceptions, so really full of a lot of symbolism. And I thought it would be fun to share with you the characteristics of 3 birds that live here where we live up in the mountains in Colorado, and share with you their symbolism, which I find to be just enchanting. So the first one is the chickadee, and I'm standing here by all the feeders with the feeders behind me, hoping the birds are visiting. I don't know if they are. The chickadee represents cheerful truthfulness. And this is a precious little bird that is very energetic, very friendly. They love sunflower seeds, and they come and get them, and then they take them and put them in what's called a cache. They hide them, and they'll either come back later and eat them or save them for a cold day. And the amazing thing about the chickadee is that it can intentionally put itself into regulated hypothermia. So if the weather is really severely cold, they can reduce their body temperature from 107 degrees to 86 degrees so that they conserve vital energy during really cold times. The second bird I wanted to share with you is the goldfinch. So goldfinches are relatives to the canary, and they have beautiful, bright golden yellow plumage in the summer, and they do not migrate. So in the winter they change all their plumage. They drop all those feathers and grow new feathers and turn an olive brown with black wingtips to camouflage themselves in the winter, which symbolizes for us going more inward in the winter, so they're not as obvious in the winter. And they represent connecting us with the nature spirits. They live on the borders and the edges of the forest, which symbolizes gateways to other realities. And so wherever you see goldfinches, you'll connect with elves and fairies and devas, which I love. And then the third bird I wanted to share with you is the nuthatch. The nuthatch is an amazing little acrobat who can climb up and down trees easily. So he can climb down the tree, has such strong legs and claws that he can climb down the tree upside down and forage as he's going down. And he symbolizes taking spiritual wisdom and higher perceptions and grounding them. So just the image of him walking down the tree reminds me of that. And what I find is studying the birds and studying the symbolism, studying the history, studying their characteristics brings this richness to the connection that we have to them, because they are filled with the same spirit that we are. And so it reminds us, they're a beautiful reminder of our connection, our deep connection to everything that is, that we're not separate, that we are all connected. And they're so available. We all have birds all around us. So I invite you to get to know the birds near where you live. And I'm going to write in my blog about some great books I love that share the characteristics. They're such a blessing to us. And I invite you to get to know them better. Blessings. Have a great day.